Hello and welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings with your host Ram. And on this particular show, dear fans and subscribers, I have to say that Pakistan have beaten Sri Lanka and have gone into the semi-final. So the semi-final placings in ICC Champions Trophy 2017 was decided today, where India will take on Bangladesh and Pakistan will take on host England, which is a tougher game for Pakistan. But nevertheless, we had a very good battle as far as Sri Lanka versus Pakistan were concerned, with everybody at the edge of their seats because the match seesawed a bit, and finally it was Pakistan who were the victors with the captain Sarfraz Ahmed leading the way and seeing to it that his team did not miss this opportunity, as he on his first stint as the captain he would be very proud of this achievement. Sarfraz Ahmed guiding Pakistan into the semi-final meeting with England in the ICC Champions Trophy 2017. So a job well done by Pakistan there. Now I'll be talking about that match. Other than that, the second one day international that was played yesterday between West Indies and Afghanistan resulted in another Rashid Khan scare, but nevertheless West Indies managed to win the match by 4 wickets. By I think it was 4 wickets. I'm just trying to check on that. Yes, it was by 4 wickets. So that was an interesting match. But West Indies actually leveled the ODI series, and also the England team was selected for the three T20s, and there are some new names from the English county side who have made the cut to the England team for the T20s against South Africa. So I'll come back to that. But first, let's talk about in greater detail about the 12th match in Group B, which was a very important match, a crucial match for both the teams, Sri Lanka and Pakistan. And this was played at the Sophia Gardens in Cardiff, and it was definitely, one knew the bowlers would definitely rule the roost, and we definitely saw the bowling was at its real best, no doubt about it. And it was the luck of the toss for Pakistan, and Pakistan decided that they would field first. So Sri Lanka batted first, starting off with Niroshan Dikwala and Danushka Gunatilaka. Well, Gunatilaka definitely hit two bold boundaries, so the bowling of Amir and Junaid Khan, but Gunatilaka was the first victim today, as Junaid Khan got him caught by Shoaib Malik for 13 of 20 deliveries with 2 fours, 26 for 1. Kushal Mendes walked in to join Niroshan Dikwala. Dikwala, on the other hand, was not really able to get the runs at a very quick clip as he normally does with his unorthodoxy, but Kushal Mendes gave him good company and hit 4 sweetly timed boundaries in his knock of 27. So Mohammad Amir and Junaid Khan absolutely looking very lively in that spell against Sri Lanka. But then it was Kushal Mendes who was looking good, and he was looking in good nick there. But Hassan Ali was the one who nipped the wicket of Kushal Mendes when he actually hit his stumps, and Kushal Mendes was a goner. A very well bowled in-swinging delivery from Hassan Ali, which actually found the target. So Mendes was gone for 27 of 29 deliveries, 4 fours, and then there was more trouble to follow for Sri Lanka when Fahim Ashraf, who actually was making his ODI debut today, and he got his maiden ODI wicket here in the form of Dinesh Chandimal, when Dinesh Chandimal was clean bowled by Fahim Ashraf, playing all over a delivery, and he was bowled by Fahim Ashraf for not to leave Sri Lanka in real trouble. But the other end, the man who was actually doing the scoring, other than Kushal Mendes, was Niroshan Dikwala, who was hitting some boundaries. But again, he could not really hit a lot of boundaries as the Pakistan bowling became a bit sharp. And then Dikwala was joined in by the Sri Lankan captain Angelo Matthews, and there a recovery was staged of sorts by Niroshan Dikwala and Angelo Matthews, as they added 80. I would say they took the score from 83. So basically, one can say that added 78 runs for the for the fourth wicket with Angelo Matthews. Definitely it definitely required a bit of application. So Niroshan Dikwala also had to settle down to playing a bit in a sedate manner. As first, the primary goal for Sri Lanka would have been to get out of a situation which was not good for them, 83 for 3, and that was what Dikwala did. And that was the time we saw a very good. They were doing it very well. They were slowly pushing the score along, and they had done their hard work, and they had occupied another almost like 16 overs, and they had taken the score to 161, and things were looking pretty much in control at the time. Niroshan Dikwala had reached 73, Matthews was 39, but that was the a sort of a real turning point in Sri Lanka's innings, because that was the time when Mohammad Amir and Junaid Khan came back for their second spell, and they bowled superbly. They bowled like real masters, I would say, because they were getting the ball to really jag in and jag out, and it was very, very difficult for the Sri Lankan batsmen. And it was Mohammad Amir who broke this stubborn stand that was going on between Dikwala and Angelo Matthews. And Mohammad Amir, also to say that this was his first wicket in the ICC Champions Trophy, but what a big wicket that was when Angelo Matthews, trying to flick a delivery from Mohammad Amir, inside dashed onto his stumps for a well-made 39 of 54 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6. And this was the spell that really brought the Sri Lankans down. They were looking in control at 161 for 3, and suddenly the innings went pear-shaped. As first the stand was broken, after that the next to go was Dhananjay De Silva, who had just flown in probably 48 hours before in place of Kushal Pereira, and Dhananjay De Silva. As I said, Junaid Khan and Amir were really bowling some smoking deliveries. They were really doing it very well. And one of those deliveries from Junaid Khan actually stood up. It actually pitched, it moved, it bounced, and Dhananjay De Silva got the edge of the bat. It probably hit the shoulder of the bat, and Sarfraz Ahmed took the resultant snack, and Dhananjay De Silva was out for 1. So that made it 162 for 62 for 5, and it soon became 162 for 6 as the mainstay Niroshan Dikwala wicket was captured by Mohammad Amir when he had him caught behind for 73 of 86 deliveries with 4 fours, made it 162, and then Tisra Pereira, his wicket was claimed by Junaid Khan. Now, this was the spell of bowling where Junaid Khan and Amir together plunged Sri Lanka from 161 for 3 to 167 for 7, and then it was the turn. It was so from the recovery that Matthews and Dikwala did, once again Sri Lanka found themselves into deep trouble at 167 for 7, and now it was a matter of playing the entire 50 overs, and that was something which was I would say secured by Asela Gunaratne along with Suranga Lakmal, and Asela Gunaratne and Suranga Lakmal combined into a good partnership which actually broke the spell of Junaid Khan and Amir as they started, and as you know, Asela Gunaratne is such a player who has this uncanny knock of playing strokes, and he definitely showed some of those strokes today. And as I said, it was a tough situation for Sri Lanka, but thanks to the partnership between Asela Gunaratne and Suranga Lakmal, Sri Lanka proceeded past the 200 mark as the score reached 213, and that was the time it was Hassan Ali who rattled the timber of Suranga Lakmal. Suranga Lakmal definitely did a good job in giving good company to Asela Gunaratne, but he was finally gone, bowled by Hassan Ali for 26 of 34 balls with 3 fours, and then finally, and also Gunaratne, after making 27 of 44 balls, also fell a victim of the bowling of Hassan Ali, and then finally it was the Sri Lankan innings coming to an end at 236. Malinga was not out on 9. Nuwan Pradeep was the final victim, caught on ball by Fahim Ashraf for 1. 236 all out, and this was not a good score at all on this particular pitch. Mohammad Amir, 10 overs, and what a spell of bowling from Mohammad Amir and Junaid Khan. They bowled like absolute masters, one could say. 10 overs, no maiden, 2 for 53, and this is the spell that Pakistan, Mohammad Amir and Junaid Khan should be bowling against England, because this was really some marvelous spell of bowling. Mohammad Amir 10 overs 2 for 53. Junaid Khan simply superb, 10 overs 3 maidens, 40 runs and 3 wickets at 3 maidens. So that will tell you how tight Junaid Khan was. Imad Wazim 8 overs 1 maiden, none for 33. Fahim Ashraf on his ODI debut, 6.2 overs no maiden, 2 for 37. Hassan Ali 10 overs 3 for 43, did his job well. Mohammad Hafiz 5 overs none for 24. Now Pakistan were chasing a target of 237 runs to win the match, and let's have a look as to what happened. So Pakistan started off with Azhar Ali and Fakhar Zaman, and because of Fakhar Zaman, as you know, he has definitely showed that he's an aggressive young bloke, and today once again he showed all those strokes in full measure as he had done it in the previous match itself, as Fakhar Zaman was the one who was actually doing all the scoring, whereas Azhar Ali had the luxury of playing in his own sedate manner as things started. But Fakhar Zaman was very severe. In fact, he hit Malinga for 3 boundaries in a single over, and looks to be a serious talent for Pakistan, I would say, because Fakhar Zaman went on to make his maiden ODI 50 in only his second match. He showed that promise, as you remember, in the previous match, and that was against the other team, where he did against South Africa, and here he comes in and slams 50 runs of just 36 deliveries, which included 8 fours and 1 6. And Fakhar Zaman looks to be a very aggressive, looks to be someone very aggressive, and that is very good news for Pakistan for their for their build up of cricket, as Fakhar Zaman played a very good innings, and he definitely saw to it that he went after Malinga, he went after Suranga Lakmal, Nuwan Pradeep, and finally Pradeep was the one who brought an end to his innings when Fakhar Zaman, trying to slash a ball where he is normally very strong at through the point region, was caught by Gunaratne of the bowling of Pradeep, but not before doing immense damage with his bat, as he scored 50 runs of just 36 deliveries, 8 fours and 1 6, and the run rate was pretty good at that time. I mean, they were doing a very good job. They were almost over 6 runs, which is good to see. So Fakhar Zaman looks to be a serious talent for Pakistan, I could say that. So he was gone 74 for 1, and as I said, Azhar Ali was the sort of a sleeping partner in the innings. Babar Azam came in, and that was the time, once Fakhar Zaman was out, the Pakistan had a bit of a problem, as Azhar Ali was the only constant there. Other than that, they started losing wickets. First it was Babar Azam slashing at the delivery, caught by De Silva of the bowling of Pradeep for 10 of 18 dealt with 1 4. Pereira forced Mohammad Hafiz to actually mistime a shot, and Pradeep took the catch. He was gone for 1, and Shoaib Malik was a victim of the bowling. And before that, Azhar Ali compounded matters for Pakistan when Suranga Lakmal went on to pick up Azhar Ali, caught by Mendes for 34 of 50, dealt with 2 fours and 1 6. And then Shoaib Malik, another big experienced player, went, as this was Malinga who did the trick by forcing Shoaib Malik to play into the hands of Dikwala for 11 of 20, dealt with 1 4. Which really brought things. I mean, suddenly the Pakistan innings really plunged into real trouble, because he was gone, and then Imad Wazim was a victim of the bowling of Pradeep, and suddenly things were looking very bleak. And then finally Fahim Ashraf, who was playing his ODI and much was expected of him, was run out for 15 in the 30th over, to really put, suddenly Sri Lanka came back into the game after Fakhar Zaman really hit them to all parts of the ground. Suddenly this Pakistan innings, which was looking in control, plunged to real disaster, as the score read 162 for 7 at 30th over, and I'm sure that was the time Sri Lanka would have believed that they definitely had a chance to win this match. But they still had one hurdle in front of them, and that was Sarfraz Ahmed, the Pakistan captain. As you know, he's an aggressive young player, and he had Mohammad Amir for company. Now from 162 for 7, it was real crisis for Pakistan, because they still had some way to go, but with Sarfraz Ahmed at the center, one would have definitely thought that Pakistan definitely had a chance, no doubt about that. But then, but I have to say something here, that at 162 for 7, it was even Stevens at the time. Let's have a sort of spare a thought for Lasith Malinga, who had two chances dropped of him. In fact, three chances in all. Two of the both. One was a real absolute sitter where Sarfraz Ahmed trying to hit Malinga had lofted the ball, and it was an absolute sitter, and the person who actually grasped it was Tisara Pereira, and that proved to be extremely costly. As you know, Sarfraz Ahmed is such a player, does not give you much chances, and that was one can say that was the real turning point in the game, because it was an absolute sitter. But in cricket these things happen, and this was a very, very costly lapse. In fact, all the Sri Lankan fielders were having their hands on their heads. This was something that nobody could believe, because it was such an easy catch, and it was such a sort of a dolly catch that Tisara Pereira dropped, and that probably, I would say, also he dropped the semi-finals for Sri Lanka there, and Pakistan went into the semi-finals. It was a real dolly. So Sarfraz Ahmed then, after that, he was also once again dropped by a much difficult chance by Sekubge Prasanna and Mohammad Amir, and after that there was nothing that they could do. Sarfraz Ahmed and Mohammad Amir really did a good job. They realized that they did not take any risks right now, because the score was 162. So the run rate was not a problem. They still had 20 overs to score the balanced runs, which was probably close to 70 odd runs, which they definitely, and that was precisely, and it was also important that Mohammad Amir had to give company, and Mohammad Amir, I thought, did a very good job of staying with Sarfraz Ahmed all through the chase, and finally it was Sarfraz Ahmed with an unbeaten 61, a captain's knock of an unbeaten 61 of 79 runs with 5 fours, 79 balls with 5 fours, and Mohammad Amir not out on 28 of 43 deliveries with 1 4, guiding the Pakistan to victory from 162 for 7. It was an unbroken partnership which actually got Pakistan the victory and helped them get into the semi-finals. So, as I said, it was almost a 70 odd runs partnership. It was very well done. Also one has to credit Mohammad Amir for giving very good company to Sarfraz Ahmed in making this possible. So Malinga 9 point, very, very unlucky. 9.5 was 2 minutes 1 for 50. He bowled very well. I thought he really mixed it up. There was real concoctions in his bowling, and he was really making the batsman think with his variations, when he was slipping in a slower Yorker, sometimes a quicker bouncer, sometimes doing much more variations than one could have been possible. So Rangal Akmal 10 overs 1 for 48. Pradeep 3 for 60 was a bit costly. Pereira 1 for 43 was the guilty party, I would say, as he dropped a real sitter of Sarfraz Ahmed. Gunaratne 5 overs none for 19, did his job well. 1 over for 2 for Gunatilaka, and Dhananjay Silva bowled 1 over for 3 runs. And the player of the match went to the Pakistan captain Sarfraz Ahmed, who took his team into the semi-finals with a cool head. Well, so now just gives me time to do a skimmer here as far as the West Indies versus Afghanistan second ODI was concerned with. Actually, West Indies won the match by 4 wickets. Afghanistan batted first, 135 all out. The highest scorer being Gulbuddin Naib showed his all-round skills, making 51 of 73 balls, 2 fours and 2 sixes. The wickets were shared by Gabriel, Holder, Joseph and Nurse with 2 wickets. Not going to much detail on that, I would say. And as far as the West Indies were concerned, West Indies definitely really had a challenge against Rashid Khan, but somewhat they weathered the challenge, and finally they were the victors. Evan Lewis making 33 of 36 balls, 5 fours. 48, Shai Hope was the man of the match with the highest score of 48 of 77 deliveries, 3 fours. Paulus out cheaply for 2 to Carter, 2 to Jason Mohammed Chase, and there was definitely a lot of real panic in the West Indies innings, but it was Jason Holder with a cool head along with Shai Hope taking them to victory, and leveling the series 1-1 to set up the final ODI clash, which should be a very interesting one. Well, dear fans, so that is one, and also, as I said, the team has been selected by England for the T20s against South Africa. After the Champions Trophy, as you know, South Africa will be playing against England. So England have named 5 players, rookie players in their 16-man squad, for the 3 T20s against South Africa at the end of the month of June. And they are Liam Livingstone, who has been scoring tons of runs in the English county scene this year. Mason Crane, the leg spinner, who actually went and played for New South Wales, as you know, and also some very good batsmen like David Mullen. They have Tom Curran, who is a very good all-rounder, and Craig Overton, the pace bowler. So so this is what they have done. So basically, these are the players who are getting an opportunity to actually play with the big names when they will be playing against South Africa. So definitely England definitely looking forward to the future. Some big names missing, and these youngsters have been given an opportunity, which is good to know. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that really pulls the curtain down on this daily cricket show of mine today, and that's about it as far as today is concerned. And it's good night from my studios. Thank you.